Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Network. And we back with another story on another so-called pastor. Another so-called pastor who was sentenced to 29 years in prison. But for what? We're going to get to that in a bit. Now, this story comes out of Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City. Now, this fella right here is named Matthew Lee Richards here on the screen. So this old story not too long ago, in which he was sentenced 29 years for. It says youth pastor says he stabbed wife and children to avoid eviction, as you can see right here below his photo right here. As we go to the current news story that happened recently. All right, it says former Shawnee pastor sentenced to nearly 30 years. 30 years for stabbing family and setting home on fire. This is him right here, a so-called preacher. Now, this story came out very recent, I believe today, that is. All right, it says a former Shawnee youth pastor has been sentenced to more than 29 years in prison for stabbing his family and setting his home on fire. So the date to this article was March 27, 2025. It says Matthew Lee Richards was sentenced Wednesday, March 26, to 188 months for attempted first-degree murder and 165 months for attempted first-degree murder. The sentences are to run consecutively for a total of 353 months or more than 29 years. 29 years, stabbed his family and set his home on fire. Wow. Wow. You know what I mean? We got some sick people out here, especially so-called preachers. You understand? The mentals of the wicked minds of fellas like him, right? You call yourself a preacher? You stab your family? You stab your wife? Is it that serious? You wanted to avoid eviction? Go work. Go pick up some extra hours. Be a man and work. You understand? Listen, it ain't that serious. I know a lot of us go through some hard times with paying the rent or paying mortgage or whatever the case may be. But it shouldn't boil down to you saying, listen, I'm going to unalive or hurt my family to that extent. You know what I mean? You up there preaching the word, but you got those mentals in your head to do those type of things. Now you get 29 years in prison. 29 years. Now, some people may say, well, hey, ain't enough. All right? It says Richards stabbed his 4 kids and wife. Look at that. Highlighted. He stabbed his 4 kids and wife. 4. As a man, right? As a man, as a husband, as the protector, you're supposed to protect your family, not hurt them, you idiot. You understand? And it says, and then set their home on fire in the early morning hours of September the 16th, 2023. And it gives the area where as though he did it. It says Richard's children, 4 juveniles. 4 juveniles and a 19-year-old at the time, and his wife were injured and hospitalized in the incident. Blessedly, they survived. He tried to off them. You understand? 29 years, that's it? The man tried to off his family, stabbed him, then set the place on fire. Right? It says the former youth pastor told investigators he committed the violence because of pending eviction, according to the affidavit. Really? Eviction? You stabbed your family because of y'all was about to get evicted? I don't get it, man. I don't get it, not one bit. Now you caused yourself to be in prison for 29 years. All this stuff could have been avoided if you was a man to go out there and work for that, to get that handled, to get that settled. Listen, if you got to move in with other family members, hey, because you got evicted, so be it. So be it. Listen, a lot of people fall on hard times, a lot. It shouldn't come to that extent that, listen, I'm about to be evicted, I can't pay my rent, or I'm about to get foreclosed by the banks, I can't pay my mortgage. That's the first thing that comes to your mind, is to stab your family and set the house on fire? Really? Really? Wow. Now look at you, stupid, sitting in prison right now for 29 years. 29 years. You blew it. You understand? Blessingly, the family survived and things of that nature. Let me know what y'all think about this story about this so-called preacher who was sentenced to 29 years in prison. Him right here. Matthew, the idiot, the dummy. The stupid so-called preacher. You understand? You're supposed to protect your family, not try to offer. Let me know what y'all think about this story, about this so-called preacher who received 29 years in prison. Do y'all think it's enough time for him? I don't think so. He should have got life. The judge should have gave him life in prison. 29 years is too light. Too light. Listen, you're innocent children. You take a knife and you stab them, you can tell he got a dark heart, a dark soul. Wow. All right, let me know what y'all think. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.
Do remember, if you like, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. And after you hit that notification bell, select all so you can receive all notifications to the videos that come out on this YouTube channel. Thank you.